Got it.
Welcome to 1407 Green Monkey Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. Today we have an AKPC Roundtable with the four horsemen: Corey, Sterling Silver, MJ. How you doing, fellas?
Doing great. All things considered, I'll just leave it at that.
If we're the horsemen, I'm death because I'm the most loyal. I've never missed one of these.
I'll say I'm famine because I'm starving for actually good content. That's not to talk about this specifically. I'm just saying in general.
So it is only pestilence and war. I call war. War.
Pestilence was one of the more interesting one of his children.
Oh yeah, because Pestilence's powers are open to interpretation.
We don't know what his power is yet. We know what war powers was. We know what death's powers. I don't know if we know what Pestilence's power was.
I think specifically, I want to make sure I get this right. I think Pestilence actually was the wife of Angel or Archangel when he was the Apocalypse Seed. I think so. It's either Pestilence or Famine. I'm pretty sure it was
I was thinking more of the original.
No. I'm saying because that's kind of the cool thing. We've had so many Horsemen of Apocalypse. So it's kind of cool that we can kind of confuse that. Because no one gets mad we have those legacy characters.
We got a really interesting white page, which is a grimoire from Apocalypse, where he talks about how he picks the horsemen and how he models the horsemen he picks after his original children. So every Pestilence he's ever picked will be modeled off the original Pestilence. And the only power we know of the original Pestilence was that he or she put a plague on an arrow that killed someone on a certain time.
Pestilence is kind of more diseases. I was watching Supernatural, and they said they kind of they had this one. He killed this one person by making them insatiably hungry. That's it, and they're really into the CDC and how disease work, and it's very clever. Okay, so this week we've had 4 X books come out: Knights of Ass X, New Mutants, Immortal X-Men, and X-Men proper.
Two of those books are canon.
Yeah, and it's we got 2 good ones, 2 really bad ones.
We got some Apocalypse news in Knights of X, so I don't know if that's canon.
Yeah, and Knights of X is now, it's below my tier. It's below Legion of X right now because of that ending.
We'll get into it.
We're definitely gonna get into it.
Yeah.
All right, so bad to worse. I mean bad to good.
Okay, so New Mutants or Knights of X.
Let's do New Mutants and we just kind of go on from there. New Mutants by Vita Ayala with Rod Race. This is, I think, the conclusion or the part conclusion of the Limbo thing. Don't know what they left that really weird. I don't.
I was Go ahead, Jarl.
Sorry, no, go ahead, Corey. Go ahead.
I was like, are we curtain calling here? Getting ready to the next arc? Is there going to be a transfer of the deed? I'm not seeing a transfer of the deed.
Exactly. I don't think it's over.
I'm not seeing a conclusive ending here.
I don't think it's over because we didn't get the ending. We didn't get the Passover of power. It was established that old magic was queen or not queen, but the orc dude was king, and then
Sam,
when she killed the orc dude, she became queen, and then she passed the queenship to young magic. So Madeline Pryor, even though they signed that contract, Madeline Pryor is not queen.
Queen of Limbo or Queen of Hell.
And potentially, so in not trying to change subjects, but in Immortal X-Men, one of the Destiny prophecies, me and Elroy were talking about it earlier, and it's one of them was, it's known as the Limbrick, infertility, the limbric infertility, and I thought limbric meant brain, infertility meant you can't have children. So mutants can't have children, but Blurred Without Fear, his idea for that one was limbric being limbo and infertility being inferno.
Shouldn't it be? I mean, that's kind of. I mean, yeah, that's a cool theory. I'm just like, but shouldn't it be limbonic?
That's what it should have been, limbonic and inferno. So he's basically saying that one of these timelines might be magic, because in one of Destiny's visions, you see like a magic full demon out.
That's Dark Child specifically. That's a thing that she does every now and again.
So potentially limbic is still a future timeline, which might still be what we're going to see next in New Mutants.
Well, I know for a fact we're going to see, because one, we already know what the event is. Like we see specifically the X-Men versus the Eternals one, and that's like in the same timeline as with the maybe the limbonic or limbic inferno. So like that's the kind of thing that always gets me, is like, oh, like we'll show you, like it's basically just like a bunch of what ifs, but we're only going to focus on like two.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So some things I did get out of the New Mutants is so Magic has a new sword, but I'm a little confused on it. Is it is her sword the bottomized body of Warlock, or did she transfusion techno-organic
Warlock? I think that was supposed to be Warlock.
Right, but then old Magic still has her sword when she leaves. So I'm thinking that Magic took that sword and like transfused basically took techno-organic material from Warlock and used that to reforge a new sword. I don't think because it's confusing, because old Magic left with her sword, so she took the body of Warlock.
Now, are we sure that, now here's the thing too, because you know how like time travel is very confusing. Like, are we sure that this is the same, that this Magic will grow up to be that Magic? Could it just be a different Magic?
That's another question I'm asking here too, because like, is Limbo multiversal, or is it just one timeline? So anyone in 616 can appear at any point in a timeline in Limbo, or is it that it's a multiversal thing? Like, is that Magic from a different universe?
Like old man Magic?
Yeah. Is that like 615 universe Magic, or is that 616 future Magic?
From what I know, like it's similar to the Claremont version, where like, you know, I don't know. I think like Ayala didn't really explain that very well, and I hope that they do that. My
hope is that it's one timeline and it's just multiple points, kind of like Cable is from 616 future, but the future always changes. So just because that's Magic from the future doesn't mean that will be the future.
We need set rules in time travel. This whole timey-wimey thing,
well, they kind of had it with like that organization Armor,
right?
God, I didn't. Like the last time I read about Armor was in Shatterstar, like Shatterstar like limited series. But yeah, even though that's technically like alternative timelines.
I can see them setting up like apocalyptic comic book series in the future, where it follows old lady Magic, Cable, Wolverine.
Well, they were doing that for a little. They were doing that for a little bit because they like the last one I think they did was Old Man Star, or was it like Old Man Star-Lord or Old Man Peter? It doesn't matter. Like it was something like that. I remember they did that.
They did Widow.
Something. Oh, good.
They did Widow recently too.
Yeah. They did Widow too. So when they
retconning everything we know about Old Man Logan, because like we're all
yes, they sure are.
they're all supposed to be dead.
Yeah,
well, I know the Hawkeye series, like it was like a prequel, like so he'll eventually will die, but they're never gonna let that go. Like they'll just be like, oh, JK, this turns out it was an LMD that he used at like the very last second.
It's like the Age of Apocalypse or something. Like it's weird. Also, we got something with. So they gave us this data page where they have the initial meetup with Madeline and Ileana, and it's boring. It's just like Magic's like, oh yeah, well, like I want to help you, Madeline. I don't want your help. and just like it's a whole back and forth.
Right.
And I don't like Madeline Pryor because like they keep making her like angry at Cyclops for like she should be mad at Sinister. Just saying. Like Sinister is the one who gave her permission.
She's mad at him.
But she's not going after him. She's not making little digs at Sinister. Like with as much as Sinister did to her, she should be like running fades, like trying to catch him outside. Wow, I really used that.
I don't know. I feel like Cyclops could have been more supporting. Like he
that's the thing though. Like the way, like in the beginning, yeah, you're right. But then they retcon and be like, oh no, actually no, this wholeheartedly was Sinister's fault because like Madeline Pryor was using like latent psychic or latent to telepathy to like make Cyclops stay. Like he actually was trying to go away because it never was supposed to happen. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry, but like now that completely absolves him of any that completely absolves him of anything.
Like my thing with that is like all right, they have this one panel where Cyclops asks her like, hey, are you a clone? And she slaps him. Like, how dare you ask me? Like, okay, he's a superhero. He's dealt with this before. He's just following up.
No, that is something like that. Is something like that. Like now, I know, just not like asking someone a question like that, and then you slapping them is pretty much what they clone would do. Because then you probably just say no.
Right. So one thing I have to say though about the Madeline situation is Madeline is the baby mama, not Jean.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, Cyclops should have a little bit more. Just should stand up for Madeline a little bit more. At least 5%, not 0%. You know.
He fucked his son's clone.
I suppose so, but she pretty much manipulated him into having a child. So I don't even think that's fair.
Her whole thing was trying to get Cyclops away from the X-Men because she remember she cried to Storm, oh, how can we raise a child in this dangerous environment when knowing the Fantastic Four just had a kid a couple years before, like, and they're doing fine.
The Fantastic, now to be fair, the Fantastic Four was being persecuted for like their race, but so it's a little bit different.
But like, you know, you can raise a child in that environment. Like Cyclops had little Cable with them when they were doing X Factor missions. Like, he was completely protected. I don't know. Like,
I get where you're trying to stand Madeline Pryor. It's like, no, honestly, like particularly with the retcon, like, nah, she's kind of in the wrong. I'm sorry, they pretty much made Cyclops airtight here.
You know, but like nobody the majority don't like Cyclops because, you know, Claremont didn't like Cyclops.
She's definitely in the wrong, but like it comes to a larger argument that we're probably going to be going through a few times is like how much personal responsibility do you have when you suffer mental illness and various other traumas and whatnot, and
what mental illness though,
you know, like, how much do we put on Sinister who caused all that mental illness to begin with, you know?
Right.
No, but like I still say that all that was just part of the plan. Like when she put out that ultimatum, if you leave, don't expect us to be here. Like, no. As soon as he left, she packed up everything and head up to her dad's house. She acted like a baby mama, a crazy baby mama. Dad, he left me. He's like, I'm sorry. This is way too many Lifetime movies I've seen.
But, I don't know. I always felt like Sinister wanted that situation. He wanted them to have the child and then wanted them to separate. Sinister didn't want them to live happy ever after. So he needed her to deteriorate psychologically, which would push them apart. I don't know. Maybe. That might be just fan theory, or headcanon.
So how are we feeling about this? Like, I don't really care about old lady magic because I was like,
weird.
I'm just like, it gives more magic fans like, oh, she's such a great character. Like, yeah, she's cool, but she's not really smart. She didn't think about this whole thing through.
This young magic doesn't deserve to be queen if she can't defend her queendom. it took old magic to take back her queendom, not young magic. So like it's like you're just giving the queendom again.
Wait, hang on, wait. Are you saying like did they say queendom instead of kingdom? Or like are we
No.
that far with like the writing now?
I'm calling it queendom.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just want to mention like because we just got into like a little side because we just got into that big controversy with like what if Miles Morales was Thor, like that whole debacle, and like I was like are we doing it? Are we like is Vita Ayala saying like queendom now instead of kingdoms? Like are we doing that now too?
It's supposed to be a leader. You know, like the sex shouldn't matter. Like
I don't mind it. To me, it would be queendom, especially if your heir is a queen. Like if your heir is most definitely going to be a queen.
That's not a word.
Yeah, we can make it a word, but yeah, no, like it kind of
everything's a word. What are you talking about?
I can look at it. I mean, nah, this not worth it. I'm just trying to. Like,
it does make
sense.
Even if it's not a word, I've seen it in books. So
right. I get that. I'm just saying. I think if like
a word or what's not a word.
I'm sorry.
It is not a word. It is a name. It is a title of a TV series and off the album by and the name of the 1986 album by Shoya.
All right. I'm just trying to think. I'm just thinking in my head, like in just like my quick, just kind of assessment. I don't think necessarily like kingdom denotes like, oh, it is a king. I think it just means just like a nation that has like or like that has a monarchy. Right. I think that's what I don't think it automatically means king. But I like once again, I would get why someone would think that, and yeah, like queendom would make sense. Like Queen Victoria during her time, that can be seen as a queendom. Honestly, it seems applicable very much. So, but I don't necessarily think I don't think that word is like. Is like it's supposed to be either like even denotatively or either connotatively like oh no that means it is you have to be a king. So right. I'm like okay.
Oh, also they have this really like they show Colossus looking for Ileana and it was just basically him like hey have you seen my sister? No. Have you seen my sister? No. I don't know, bro. Like I don't understand why they threw that in there.
I don't trust anything Colossus does. So it's either Colossus's brother wants magic, or the storyteller needs magic's help for something.
I think the storyteller needs Colossus for something. But like, yeah, I'm at the end of this. Like, you don't know if it's the end. Apparently, Ileana has a new sword now, so.
Not as good though, because they said it's not her soul sword. They still say she cannot form her soul sword yet. The old magic said she's on the way to recovering. So it's like eventually she'll reform it. So this is just a stopgap.
Also, I'm really getting like fed up with these fairy tale excerpts that had nothing to like. That basically retells everything that we just saw. Like the four warriors battled against the alien machines.
But maybe maybe it's leading somewhere. Like that's where like it's kind of where like for a lot of these books, it's just like okay, well this works, but not here. It would be better if like oh no, this actually was being told by like whoever the guy is in X-Force, like storyteller. That'd be good. Like that'd be a good way. Like it, huh?
Percy's doing that stuff.
Yeah, like no, but it'd be nice to be like, oh, it turns out like that character's doing that. That would make more sense. But that character so far we don't know is in that book. So I'm like these elements work, but just not where exactly they need to be, which is a bit frustrating at times.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all because.
So let's move on to Knights of X, I guess.
Knights of X.
I like this one.
A lot of action.
Whenever we get apocalypse news, is good.
What's up? What's up, Corey?
This was boring with a fuck you ending.
Wow. Yeah, same for all the people in the back.
This had a fuck you ending.
No,
okay, so I guess let's skip straight to the ending. Gambit he is dead, but he's not staying dead. It's one of two things. It's he's using those cards have magic, incredible magic cards. Those cards belong to Saturnine.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept them. Like
every time he used one, it was incredibly powerful, unlocking doors that were impossible to unlock, and like incredible powers. Like so, he's using the card of death, and he dies in that moment. So my guess is it's a card. It'll resurrect him.
Well, let's see. That's true. Like Gambit was once upon a time. I believe he was the Horseman of Death for Apocalypse. So like maybe
yes, he was. Yes,
he even references in this issue. It's really cool.
Yeah, like I just knew that. I'm like, okay.
Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, so he uses the death card. So the question is, what magic does that card have? It didn't seem to do anything to Merlin. It didn't kill Merlin, so I don't think it was an offensive card. I think it was a defensive card. When you deploy the card of death, I don't think you can die.
I really like how Gambit really took charge in this issue. Like, Betsy was like, no, we gotta fall back. And Gambit's like, no, we gotta get Jim Jaspers. We gotta save him. Like, Megan, we saw Megan do some really cool stuff. Apparently,
Brian Braddock got pissed off for a bit.
We saw Megan become Storm. Like, just apparently in other worlds, she's Storm. I'm all for that.
Sorry, real quick, the second option for Gambit coming back is the Siege Perilous. In this issue, we were told that the Siege Apocalypse's words that the Siege Perilous can destroy a soul or reforge it.
Right.
So theoretically, just take Gambit's body to the Siege Perilous. Siege Perilous just reforges his soul, brings him back.
Well, bring him back the way he is, though, because
that's not Otherworld Resurrection. Theoretically, the Siege Perilous could just reforge Gambit's soul the way it was as he died, not with Otherworld contamination or nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Also, I was on Twitter and they kind of implied, like, no, they straight up said with the scene with Richter and Shatterstar, Richter basically admitted that he had a physical relationship with Apocalypse.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. And then they have this one scene with Rachel and Betsy, and people are like, are y'all really trying to tell me they ain't fucking? I'm like,
so in
can people just be friends, or could they just date? Like, I don't know. Like,
in Apocalypse's grimoire, he says that he does not love his children. I'm paraphrasing, but he implies that he no longer loves his children, but he tries to treat his new horsemen like he loves them.
Oh, like a surrogate kids, like Xavier.
Kind of.
Like Xavier.
So I don't know if he actually loves his new horsemen, or if he just simulates that love for them. But that could explain why Richter isn't really a horseman, but it would explain why Richter is so close to him.
He's an acolyte of Apocalypse.
It at least explains why his children aren't his heirs, because he doesn't love his children.
Yeah, it's
so he didn't pick his children to be his heir. He picked Richter because it's not. He doesn't love his children.
This is why Teenie Howard to me is the pestilence of the horrible X-Men writers. Because
it's just as a person, she may be nice, but I'm bored now, and you are probably going to bring back Gambit in some form of way that will destroy all the groundwork that Kelly Thompson laid down of people liking Rogue and Gambit as a married couple.
Yeah.
I don't believe that, though. I think we have too many avenues. I can name 5 avenues right now how he'll come back unaltered. So like,
yeah, I'm all for it, because like she was doing really good work with Gambit, like really good. Like he was stealing stuff, and he's I'm personally a Gambit fan. So
if he comes back altered, it's coming back altered through Siege of Perilous, which is just a power upgrade. It's not a mental upgrade. I don't think his relationship with Rogue is altered in any form whatsoever. It's just that he's going to get a power upgrade.
Well, based on how X-Men kind of treats it, well, one, she either doesn't know what happened, or 2, it's already happened. Doesn't seem to be that much. It doesn't seem to be that much of a big change for her. But granted, once again, the timing of these things is completely all over the place. I have no idea where everything is, where anything is. As a matter of fact,
they need info boxes again. They need to say this happens before this.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, like what happens in X-Men almost kind of conflicts with what happens in Immortal X-Men, even though they kind of have to, even though there's a through line to Immortal X-Men, but that's just talking about those two books. I'm just saying, like, a timeline is needed. It would be very appreciative. That's one of the only frustrating things. Well, that's one of the frustrating things about this whole X-Men kind of verse. It's just like, I don't know where things are going. Like, I don't know what's happening in terms of like the timeline.
The pandemic and that delay, that shipping delay really messed everything up.
So before we move on, I got a couple more quick things. So Siege of Perilous, I have a quick theory about that. So it can change your soul, it can destroy a soul, and it can reforge it. And so I've been kind of thinking, Apocalypse apparently had it, and he gave it to Mr. M. So Apocalypse had the Siege of Perilous and stored it away 5,000, 3,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, something like that. I'm starting to think, what if it's celestial technology?
There could be some celestial ingredients in that.
We haven't seen his ship. You know, he used to have a spaceship. What if the Siege of Perilous is just a spaceship, and he's storing his spaceship in Mr. M's nation, I guess.
When it comes to the timeline, I'm looking at the scheduling for the books, and I guess it's the original scheduling, and apparently, this book should have came out a month ago. Like, Knights of X should have happened a month ago, because just go to the last page when they show all the schedule.
Like the roster for next week.
I just go off that. That's the scheduling.
So is like the list of titles of upcoming issues in the back of each of these books, is that essentially the reading order for us?
Yeah, I think that's what I think. That's what I'm going.
That is a guideline at this point. It is not a rule. Like,
hey, it's my North Star. Okay, it's what I'm using.
So a couple more things. Shogo must be the sacrifice, because
I thought Gambit was the sacrifice,
but it didn't open. The portal to the Mr. M. I guess Mr. M might now open the borders now from the sacrifice. I guess it didn't seem like it was open. It didn't seem like sacrifice was accomplished, because even after Gambit does it, the way they're talking doesn't seem like it's been paid yet. They're telling Shogo that the sacrifice is painful, not that.
That's why it's a sacrifice.
It seemed like to me that it was done yet. So I think Shogo they're gonna make Shogo pay the sacrifice, and so it's fucking child abuse.
Or they're showing it, or they're trying to teach him the ways of being a knight, because like it seems like they're giving him like a tutoring session.
They're just showing them this. I think whatever the hell Miss Howard is going to be doing with Gambit, I'm thinking that's it, because they're saying, sorry, but you have to watch this go down, and you can't do anything about it right now, because even though you like to be in your dragon form while you're in here.
They called Shogo a changeling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he kind of is, because that's how he was first introduced.
Yeah.
When Jubilee child abducted him.
That's a term in the Marvel that implies a child mutant.
It means a mutant that gets their powers at birth. That's correct.
So like, hey, and we pursue forward.
There could be two ways to take that though. Like, because if we're talking, like, most times I think of what is it, like other, like wherever they are, I consider that kind of like ye old stuff, because in D&D logic, change just means that you can change your form. And I think Shogun can do that as well. So it could just be dual meaning. He could just be a changing both ways. But I don't know. I would kind of tend to think that they're talking about it and like he can change his form as opposed to he can change, like he is like a specific type of mutant.
Yeah, like we do have a changeling on in the X-Men line, Jamie Madrox. He's not
exactly.
Yes.
Not like a mutant. He's more of a throwback, which is so him. So
I got two more points real quick. So Captain Britain being bisexual, that's pretty cool.
I mean, we know that though, but like,
we've done that for a while.
Pull the trigger.
No, we've done that for a while. No, that's happened. Wait. Are you talking about? Are you talking about Brian Braddock? We're talking about
Betsy.
Oh no, we've known that since We've known that since X-Force. That's nothing new.
Yeah, like I just wish Marvel would just pull the trigger on that. If she's dating,
no, they've already done that. She was dating a female Phantom X.
Right. But like they're trying to say that she's with Rachel now. I'm like,
okay, no, that would mean if anything, that would be the reveal. The reveal would be that Rachel's bisexual. That would be it.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. So my point was that it leads credence to my theory that Betsy hooked up with Saturnine.
Which means that's like pretty much
it just died.
No, pretty much that just means like almost every female character that doesn't explicitly say that they're lesbian is at least bisexual. That's what that means to me at this point.
Yeah, apparently.
Two bisexual ladies wake up fucking in the morning
you can be bisexual and not have sex with another woman.
I know.
You're making me want to say straight pride now, Jarl. That's a really bad. That's
what we're gonna say. What you call it? I don't know, because then by that logic, like what you call it, that must mean that even though he's married, North Star and Dakin had a relationship. It was just off screen. Like,
right. Like
North Star wakes up on a fucking beach and Jackin is like putting on his shirt, or like looks like he's like
they're on a beach though.
Like I don't know. Okay, we'll move on.
That's right. If I see any characters that are completely clothed in all the panels, no, they had sex. Like that. Like
you're on an excluded beach and
excluded.
You're having like after morning. I don't know, man. I've woken up next to a woman many a time, and it's always you have that.
Are you trying to tell us something?
Where you're like super nice to each other.
Hey,
just,
like, are you coming out? It's cool. Just come out. Are you telling us? Like, what are you trying to tell us, buddy? If we fall asleep around you, that means
he said woman. What are you talking about?
Hey, it's 2020. Women could have penises.
So that's the title. That's the title of
right. That's the title. 20 women can have penises too.
That's the title. That's
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks.
Okay. So
Immortal X-Men or regular X-Men? I can do both. Like it.
Sorry. One last point, real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, real quick. One last point.
Yeah,
we got in the grimoire. So in the white page, we got a grimoire from Apocalypse about death and all the former deaths. And I think there's a really cool point I want to bring up. Apparently, he picks his death based off. It's always a good guy. He always picks a good guy to be his death, because the idea is that he expects his death to betray him one day because he's a good guy and whatnot, and his death will always hold by. It's his most steadfast and most loyal, but also the one that will most likely betray him one day. It's kind of interesting. Another point on that is that I feel like the reason Death won't leave the prison is because Apocalypse ordered him to stay. If Death is so-called the most loyal of the Horsemen and he's refusing to leave the prison, maybe it's because Apocalypse told him to stay. I don't know.
Or you could take the text at its face value and Death says, I like it here.
Yeah, but he's being a blood bag. He's most likely a blood bag. The vampires are addicted to drinking mutant blood, and they have a mutant captive.
I like what he said. I like he says, death is sometimes the hardest word to fill. For that is the sun I will grapple with internally. War, plague, and famine I will only know if I seek them out. But death may surprise even me one night. A cold steel blade in between my ribs. Death is the son I can never trust, but he cannot be a bad man. Because above all else, death must be selfless. Even death must be ready to die. Okay, I see what you're going. I see what you're going with that. Okay, I like that. That explains Archangel.
Mm-hmm.
That explains Archangel.
Gambit sacrifice a little bit.
No, Wolverine was war. No, he was death.
I'm trying to think. At one point, I thought 4 of them were deaf. It was Dakin, it was Banshee, it was Sentry, funny enough, and it was one more. I forgot who it was. Oh yeah, it was the Grim Reaper.
That is interesting.
And I believe they were all deaf. So like maybe they're just gonna be like, because the Grim Reaper is many things, but they are not a good person.
Okay, so moving on. X-Men 12 or Immortal X-Men number 3.
I have some things about the X-Men issue.
Which one you want to go? So you want to go X-Men?
X-Men 12 or whatever number we're on. I think Dugan's trying to throw the unreliable character narration.
Corey, let's say that until we decide which way we want to go first.
I thought we were doing X-Men.
I thought we were doing X-Men. I thought that was just Corey saying that he wants to do X-Men.
Oh, okay. Corey wants to do X-Men. Silver, MJ, where you want to go?
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Corey, continue, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. We don't know if this is Nathaniel Essex Prime. It's been established for when did House of X, Powers of X come out?
Maybe 2 years ago.
2 years.
It's been pretty much reiterated that Essex has cloned himself ad nauseum. I don't believe that this is Essex Prime. This is an adult clone thinking he is Essex Prime.
Particularly with Immortal X-Men, it seems to definitely contradict that.
But remember, he did say in Immortal X-Men 1 that he cut the racism out of them.
Yeah, but he did say it goes too. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
The problem is this one clearly believes he existed. This one claims he never had a mutant, the X gene. So either this one has faulty memories, or
well, it's like Strife, because Strife believes that he's the original and he's not.
Yeah,
I don't think he's the original, but I do think I think he's a surviving clone. So when we saw Sinister kill all his other ones, we don't know if my implication was that the one Sinister to survive that altercation was the mutant and all the rest were humans. That the Sinister in House of X was the mutant and all the rest were humans. He killed all the human Sinisters. Therefore, the only Sinister left alive is mutant. And he now goes and joins the Mutant Nation. So potentially Clover Dude crawled out of the pile of dead bodies, carved off the diamond off his forehead and made a clover.
That's pretty much iron tight. Cyclops, Scott was like, I was like, hey, Scott Summers, you're enjoying this too much. Stop. Let him monologue.
No. I would be like, if I was there and Sync with no, we got to no, he needs this. No, he needs closure.
And I thought the Dugan clearly likes Ben Ulrich and giving him good lines and everything. Ben Ulrich, literally, I haven't read a lot of Ben Ulrich in the books, but when I read those finished pieces, that seems like something Stanley would say or something like that. Kind of and now for the closing broadcast, a little column from Ben Ulrich or something. Like the guy who would close 60 Minutes a long time ago. What was his name? Andy Rooney or something?
But that around what's it called? Not David Letterman. No, Larry King.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I loved it. Yeah. I loved how seriously, I love when Cyclops would just stomp in a mud hole in Sinister's ass. Because seriously, I've been telling you guys, Sinister needs a beat down. Somebody needs to just really catch him.
This wasn't Sinister though. If this was Sinister, it's not directly connected to the Sinister that's fucking with the timeline.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Or maybe I'm wrong, and this is just a puppet of the greater Sinister. Maybe it is just a greater puppet of the Sinister, and so then this punch in a roundabout way is a punch to the greater Sinister. But I when I first saw the promo picture of him punching Sinister, I was afraid because Sinister could. Sinister doesn't have to punish you now. He could go back in time and punish you when you were 2 years old. You know, he could fuck your mom when you were 2 years old and then leave her.
Oh, wow.
I like how that's the first thing you thought.
Oh, God. The ultimate disrespect.
I'm your pappy now.
Oh, God.
I'm your pappy.
Exactly.
And Daddy gives the spankings. He doesn't take them.
No, actually, this makes me want to go back and read the further adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix that came out in the 90s.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, in like, I think that's the Sinister that we're seeing now. Because
I heard you talk about that.
Because
I was thrown off for a second because because I just sometimes I'm on Tumblr and I see a really good panel. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like it was like this. Hopefully, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But it was like this one panel or two actually where Cyclops was just like kind of alone in a movie theater. He was like eating popcorn and he was in this very specific costume. And I was like, I think that like Sinister had that exact costume in one of his Stasis. I think Dr. Stasis had that exact costume inside like a capsule. I don't know if it was that or if it was like when he was kind of just pretending to be human at that point and calling Miss Uric. I don't know which one it was, but I want to believe it was like that panel. I'm just not too sure.
I remember. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. That happened X-Men 59 back in 1996.
All right, well I'm gonna look that up. Hang on, let me get that.
I'm looking it up too. But also but we get the conclusion of the Game World story, and let me tell you, the ladies did the damn thing. Like
I'm a little upset about how it worked. What the fuck's the point of a psychic dampener if you can use psychic powers?
No. The dampener is supposed to like make it so telepaths can't read your mind, trying to dampen their powers. But Jean is so powerful she overloads them.
That Magneto Magneto still has some of his power. When Magneto fought Nimrod and his powers were dampened, he still had a little bit of power. Okay, fine. Jean's a mega level. She would have a little bit of power.
So was Rogue.
Sorry, I'm listening to you guys. Yeah, no, I think that's a costume. I think that's a costume.
Mm-hmm. That was what he was wearing.
That's very cool that they brought that back. If that's the case.
I love it. But also, I loved how they gave Polaris some really good lines. Like, I have not gotten laid since I joined the X-Men.
Or slapped a man.
I haven't gotten laid or slapped a dude. I'm like,
yeah, I will be proud. Like, I will be that guy. Now, imagine if like freaking I don't know a male has said that. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a Casanova type. Imagine if like that.
Sunspot.
Yeah. Now imagine if Sunspot said like, I have not like made out with a woman or slapped her on the ass. Like, what's going on? Like, it's like there'd be a hashtag. There'd be
just look at Dakin. Dakin makes one rape joke about North Star's niece, and he's pretty much kicked off the team.
That's his sister.
Oh, no, sorry, sister.
Jeez,
I mean, it's still bad, but
yeah, right, yeah. But she's an adult.
She's so small. She looks like she's like 16. I don't know.
Wait, that's it. Aurora?
Yeah,
that's
small.
Sister.
Yeah, that's his sister.
How old is she?
They're twins. So they're the exact same age. I will say specifically, you are right though, because they always kind of go back. It just depends on the cartoonist or like it depends on the illustrator, because sometimes the women are drawn like, if you remember back in like Spider-Man 1995, like the animated series, some women are like Jack, like Black Cat, and then other times they are like, I mean, if you have a bad artist, excuse me, Ramos, but if you have a bad artist, then like they're just like they're almost like stick figures. So I will give you that. Like sometimes like the way she's actually supposed to be drawn is like completely is completely just off base. So
one thing about the Sinister that I kind of noticed, like he thinks mutant kind is a cancer and he's trying to fix his mutant son. Yeah. So that tells you that he's really, really vain.
It definitely gave me X-Men 3 what's it called, like Robert, like who is it, like the Kelly vibes, like who's the guy that always like messes with Wolverine in the movies?
Stryker.
Yeah, Reverend Stryker vibes, because like because in that movie like his son was a mutant, but he was like comatose. I think he made him comatose, actually, not comatose, but he was in like he was confined to a wheelchair.
Chemically induced coma.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So kind of it gave me that kind of vibe, just like, don't worry, son, I'll save you.
I don't think we know Dr. Stasis' full motives yet. We know his child is a mutant and is a changeling because it was born with the mutant power manifested, particularly a Morlock manifestation where it's full body. I don't know what we call that in canon.
Would it be crazy if that was Leech?
That would be, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
So like, but based on Dr. Stasis' words, though, he's not anti-mutant. Dr. Stasis, he's championing mutant kind expanding across the Cosmere, but he just says
Cosmere. What? Huh?
Sorry, the Cosmos.
No, he meant Cosmos. That's fine.
The Cosmos.
He's speaking Canadian.
It's spread across the cosmos and just leave Earth to humankind.
Yeah, I know, but that's kind of like that's another form of like discrimination. It's like, well, it's great, but not in my backyard. That's pretty much what you say. Like it's pretty like.
Oh,
I just don't know if does he want to cure his son or does he just want to make his son look human? Like, is it just
was that a part of Mr. Sinister's original origin that his kids got sick?
No. He just kind of lost his mind. Like he was so into genetic mutation and like everybody, because he was born in Victoria, London. So like he thought he's like, yeah, like this is the thing, and then he met up with Apocalypse who changed him, and then he immediately turned on him. That's Sinister ain't shit. But also like this Dr. Stasis is a little bit of a racist because he's like, oh, I trust our friend is getting ready for her debut at the Muty Gala.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they usually.
Yeah, Moira, Omega Sentinel Moira is gonna pull a reverse Maleficent at Hellfire 2. I'm just like, okay.
Spider-Man's gonna get pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna be too keen on that.
No, but I really like this part where with Cyclops, he said, after I'm done with you, I'm gonna enjoy a nice meal with my family. Then I'm gonna walk to Krakoa and dunk your puppet master ass in the volcano. I'm like, hey, hey, I'll be right there with you, bro. But
a couple more questions I have is like, where are they imprisoning him? The Spore dude.
I think he's in. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, they got him in this like telekinetic magnetic sphere that's like so airtight he can't get out.
Yeah, so he's imprisoned like on that, like he's still in the same place.
Yeah, he's basically in a plastic bottle.
Okay, so then that supports my second theory. Such question is they either imply that they're going to set up a colony on this black hole world, or they're going to make it into an ally. Like they say, if you ever need help, call us. I don't know if that means we're planting a seed here and we're going to set up a outpost and a gate.
That'd be helpful.
That's good. But also they kind of redeemed Jean. It's like for all the trillions of lives that she.
Oh, I know. That was kind of an ass.
I thought she'd already been redeemed.
That was kind of an ass pull. Well, like it just so happened that there's this one convenient mission that absolves you of everything. I was
you made it up. You're good now. You're good now.
I don't think she's made up yet because like she saved a few worlds. She almost killed the whole galaxy.
No, she saved trillions.
Yes,
and Rogue brought it up like.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I guess.
That's only like 100 worlds.
A trillion? That's 100 million. What?
Yeah, well, I think that'll cover it. Even if you cover like that still covers trillions. Yeah. Like even if I don't know how many people are on our planet. I know it might be a trillion. Who knows? I mean, it might be.
We're at 7 billion.
We're at 7 billion. So I'm not good at math, but if you get to 10 bill times that by 100, I think you get the trillion.
Yeah,
no. You get 100. You get 100 million.
See, once again, I'm not good at math either.
That's
so
weird.
No, I thought it'd be 10. You get to 100 bill, and then 100 to a trill. I don't know, but I think 100 planets you get to a couple trill, especially if they're more advanced planets. More advanced planets have higher populations. But ultimately, I don't think she's quite redeemed yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of interesting. Like, I think redemption is kind of not something that you just say that you've done. It's kind of, well, granted, I don't think she said that. I think it was somebody else, but it's not like they
said it.
Yeah, I know, right? Rogue has her own problems, but
yeah,
I don't think, yeah.
Speaking of Rogue, Jean Grey, Polaris might be leaving the team, so they might just be hyping her up to leave her, to have her leave the team and give her some more.
I didn't get a reason for her to leave the team though.
She just pretty much said like, "There's other stuff out there for me."
Yeah,
I think it's probably still in the air, but Jean implies that Polaris is potentially more powerful than Rogue, and so potentially has like a power that she just hasn't fully awakened yet.
That's probably, I mean, that's kind of probably true, because like Polaris is supposed to eventually at least be able to do what her father does, and Magneto does some ridiculous stuff. So I think that's a fair comparison.
I think we forgot about the whole the conversation that they're having in the middle of a battle. Like I thought it was going to be Scott, Jean, Lorna, and Saint stay,
yeah.
and everybody else leaves. Like, but
well, Sunfire left, Rogue is leaving. Sunfire is leaving, Rogue is leaving, X-23 Wolverine is leaving, and now Polaris. So it's just three of them now. It's just going to be, even though it's weird because Jean was like, "I'll be on the X-Men until like I absolve myself," which she should be, she should be leaving them by her own logic, but she's still there. Cyclops is the X-Men, so he's not leaving, obviously.
Or unless they kick him off the team.
Right, unless they kick him off the team.
I see X-23 returning because she has the whole thing with Sync still to go. That was not concluded.
Yeah.
I like Rogue
returning.
I like Rogue because I love to stay on this team forever, but you know, Destiny's talking tracks. Destiny's talking, so I gotta listen.
But Destiny's talking about like her fate, so that's interesting. And then Sunfire is leaving because I guess he's gonna go explore some more. And I'm like, I mean, I would like to see. I want to see more about like him and Fei Long, even though it was a little cringe at the beginning when like Fei Long was like, "Our ancestors fought on the battlefield. Now here we are, billions of layers." Oh, come on, man! Like,
just let it go.
I know.
Like, we get it. You have daddy issues.
Yeah, it's just
he has major daddy issues.
It's just a weird.
So there's that. I don't know. It would be great if they just both weave out. They just have their all like this giant anime like battle. like,
I'm with you on that. Also they reveal with Yurik, they revealed to the world that they have the resurrection protocol.
Yes, and they said Immortal X-Men.
What that happens with that. Like, I want to see how the rest of the world deals with that.
Yeah, well, now they know. Now the world. What is interesting now, because like it seems they kind of took their thunder, because way back, back when Hickman was writing this, I know it's been a long time. Like they made a big deal about I forgot what that woman's name is, but like that human woman who unlocked like immortality. Now it's no longer a secret that the X-Men can do, or the mutants can do it. So that'll just put another point on the board. So that's kind of interesting.
Hey Corey, what do you think? What do you think about all this?
Talking about the Ulrich stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I was just left confused. Like, okay, is Scott leaving on neutral, positive, neutral terms with Ulrich? But I love the piece that Dugan made Ulrich, right? I'm like, I'm clearly seeing Dugan likes the character. I'm just like, it wasn't clear to me where the conversation ended on.
I thought it was funny that on the side it said like Spider-Man probably is a mutant. I was like,
that was great. Oh, can we just say that Pepe Larraz has been kicking ass?
Yeah, glossy and crispy. That's his MO. Glossy and crispy.
I think my favorite panel was was when Dr. Stasis burned his house down, and they showed that all that fire while he's just like walking out.
And I'll say that is probably the best panel. That was not my favorite panel. My favorite panel wasn't even in this week. It was not in X-Men. It was not in X-Men. It was actually in X-Men. It was actually in Immortal X-Men. We'll get to that in a second.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But yeah, I really like. I'm excited. I want to see where this goes. I really want to see who joins the team now.
Yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah, I'm curious. I like X-Men.
We already know who joins the team. Do you think there's going to be surprise teams? Like, do you think Polaris and X-23 don't join, and so we get this fire chick, but then we get 2 surprise candidates?
Her name is Angelica Jones, sir. We put some respect on her name.
Starfire? I mean, I'm sorry, not Starfire. Sorry, Firestar. Sorry, you can see how I made that mistake. So Firestar's joining. Like, who else is joining?
They had the election, the voting thing a couple.
Oh yeah, right. I don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore.
Mara's not.
No, it's not going to be anyone else because they don't. If you lose the election, they don't put you on the team.
Yeah, they'll maybe you'll get another book like The Secret X-Men.
Oh, that was rough.
I'm thinking.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, who was in the poll? I totally forgot about that. Let me see. X-Men poll.
Maybe young Wolverine.
Dakin.
What, Dakin?
No, the young girl.
Gabby.
Oh, okay. All right. So this year, who's Armor, Gorgon, Avalanche, Micromax, Bling, M, Firestar, Siren, Gentle, and
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I wanted Gentle, and if I didn't get Gentle, then I wanted.
They picked them. I don't remember.
We don't know.
Gentle got pretty high though. Gentle got surprisingly high, and that's why I think he's going to be more of a mainstay in X-Men Red.
Yeah, Gentle. Yes, I would love for Gentle to join. We've already seen Firestar. Huh?
You mean the Narc? Gentle. He's spying on Krakoa for Black Panther.
I'm sorry, that's true, but he was Wakandan way before he was Krakoan.
You know what? I don't care about the Wakandans, okay?
I thought he was
I think they're secret. I don't. Is there a reason why there are no mutants on Wakanda? Only like 2.
There's you're right. Probably there's only 2.
Yeah, I think Black Panther knows something about that.
If we ever get his children, they'll be mutants.
We don't know that.
Wasn't Gentle a triple agent?
No. He's a double agent.
He's a double. He's not triple. Triple kind of means you're working for yourself, or triple pretty much means you're working for yourself, or you're actually working for the people you said you're working for before.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing this, but I'm actually doing this.
From my understanding, it was that Black Panther put Gentle to spy on the mutants. Yes. Storm knows this. Gentle now works for Storm, but then Black Panther thinks he's still loyal to him.
No. He's not working for Storm. Storm made him tell him what he's doing. That's not working.
That's different. That means that he's been compromised. Unless you want to say that every compromised agent, it means that they're AAA shit.
No, it's she's like, boy, you better tell me what you're doing. No, I ain't doing nothing. Don't you lie to me. I swear. I will. I don't care what he says. You better talk to me. Lie to him. Don't lie to me.
Ms. Aurora was about to take her belt off.
The most powerful Omega.
That's not true. We know for a fact she's not the most powerful. We know for the fact she's not the most powerful.
She can't reality warp.
Right?
Hey man,
if that's the case, Manifold's more powerful than her.
We're getting to Immortal X-Men right away. Don't worry.
She wasn't even in Immortal X-Men.
Don't worry, my agenda has no bounds.
Yo, stop pushing that narrative.
No, actually, no. It's actually funny you talk about that. We want to just shift to it like we can, but it's funny you say that because legitimately, Legion of X-Men, whatever it's called. Legion of X actually, your theory actually just jumped right over Storm, went to someone completely different. I'm like, that must hurt so bad.
Yes, punch you right in the stomach.
I might be willing to admit that that's not Legion and that's Exodus.
That is Exodus, man.
That is Exodus.
It's Exodus. It's how he's drawn.
It's the way his hair is up like this. That's Legion.
But what about how he's talking? Like it's even the way he talks.
Yeah.
Legion is 1,000,000 years old at this point. He's going to talk a little different.
No.
And Exodus is still older.
Yeah,
he was born in the 1300s, man.
Legion became a god, and he's 1,000,000 years old, and he's talking a little funny.
Let the Frenchman live, man. That is your brethren.
I feel like I've seen Legion have those golden bubbles around him.
He has never had that.
So it's the same. I think it's even the same costume as Exodus.
That is Exodus.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Legion was inspired by the shoulder pads. Yes.
Yeah. The wings too.
And we see a phoenix on his shoulder.
Don't mean nothing.
I think that's a phoenix.
Legion could have a phoenix on his shoulder.
Okay, let's jump into Immortal X-Men.
Anyway, sorry, just side note, like fantastic finish for X-Men. If I had any contention, I'm just kind of upset that Sunfire didn't really get to do anything. Yeah. That was a little bit disappointing, particularly when they like hyped him up so much. But I think that's kind of what happens in like these books. So like, let me just do. Not everyone can write like Al Ewing. I gotta get like this, but just know
this is still a superior book, though. This is all my. Yeah. This is all my.
No, it's why I consider
Omegas. Omega X-Men books.
Right.
This Immortal X-Men and X-Men Red done.
Yes.
And it was actually funny how this X-Men book was even better than last week's X-Men Red. Who knew?
Ooh, I can't say that because like everything there was no part wasted in X-Men Red, and like there were some parts wasted in this book. I can't say that. I can't say that.
I'm gonna disagree. Like I'm not saying
X-Men
Red. I'm not saying X-Men Red was bad. I'm just saying like it beats it just by a little bit. It's like
I can't say that. Go back and read like that. Not one panel in X-Men Red was wasted. There were at least a few panels that were wasted here. I'm like, nope, can't give it to you.
Okay.
For conclusion, X-Men was great.
Yeah.
Yes. X-Men number 12, great. Go read it. It's canon.
Read it. Yeah, that's
right, Immortal X-Men.
All right, so Immortal X-Men. The Views of Destiny. Destiny's Child, if we're going to call it that.
Oh, shame on you for opening.
I've been trying to figure out something how to put that in all week.
Destiny's Child, no Kelly Rowland.
No, Destiny's Child, no Michelle Williams.
So Destiny's Child. Anyway.
Or Destiny's Grandma. No, all right. So we jump into this from Destiny's point of view. I hate the couple of Destiny and Mystique because they ain't shit.
They really like to just put it in, not put it in their face. They're just like, we are in love. Like, okay, I hear you. We are in love. I got that. We are in love. Okay.
So we get it. I love her more than anything. Yeah, we know.
We've been doing this for at least 6 months. Like, okay, are you cheating on her? I don't get, like, who are you telling this to?
I agree that all the previous times that was a bit much, and even a little bit in this comic was a bit much, but I appreciate them explaining why. I like that they gave it a reason why it was Mystique, and then I think Destiny fell in love. She picked Destiny. Yeah. She picked Mystique for her being a Nexus being, and then fell in love with her.
But that's interesting though, because like it'd be one thing. I will say not unrequited, but it seems like her love is like they seem to be on the same level, but legitimately Mystique has like she's loved other people, and I'm like, that's just so weird to me. It's like,
you know what it is. You know what it is. It's like when you remember, I don't know if you guys went through this in middle school when you see like two girls and they're like super close, like we're girlfriends, we love each other forever. Like, okay, and it's like no one matters but us.
Yeah.
Why?
It is interesting. It'd be one, like I said, it'd be one thing of like, not unlike with Emma Frost, like if that relationship actually becomes like their weakness, because they put it on such a high pedestal, that could be your downfall. And to a certain extent, it kind of is. Like Mystique finally got her come out. Now she didn't really get it. That's one thing I really
she got found out.
She got found out, but even then, they just they had to use. It's like then there's that last minute save. I'm like, you don't get out of this like unscathed. You need to reap what you sow.
Yeah. Go for it.
There is a downside kind of to the love relationship. Yeah. It's that so it's an upside and a downside. The upside is that normally it gives her more clarity on her visions. Downside being if Mystique is dead, it gives her less clarity. So she can only see so far in the future right now because Mystique dies at every timeline past a certain point.
No, so it doesn't say that she dies. It just says that she's not important.
She's not in the future. She can't see her in the future. So.
No, she's not important. Like Mystique, you ain't shit. You are not important to anybody. You do not affect it. You're like a pebble that drops into a lake and it makes no ripples.
Yeah, that's not how I read it. But maybe that's not how I read it either.
No, I just don't like Mystique.
She has to be taken completely out of the game. So unless you're implying like the pit can do that, maybe. Maybe if she's imprisoned, strong enough imprisonment would be enough to block Destiny's visions. But
or she has to get killed and deleted.
Right, or maybe that's a next. Yeah. Like it's a bit ambiguous. It's a bit ambiguous. So like I'll let it slide for now.
Regardless, her powers are reliant on her having her love interest be active.
Yes. Speaking of love interest, that's what like I said, the best drawn panel was definitely an X-Men. My favorite panel was like I don't know what happened. Like I don't even like Mystique that much, but her in that negligee, I'm like, oh my god! Like she's like, ooh.
Hold on, they had her in a negligee. Oh, what? Did I miss this?
No. Like Silver, you brought this up. Like they love each other, but they had other partners in the past. I want to see Azazel. I wanted to see him come up.
Yeah, I know that is interesting. It is interesting for him to be like, yeah, I love. Now, granted, she could always just say like Mystique might just say like that was like a marriage of convenience. I didn't love him, but she legitimately was in love with Sabretooth.
Yeah, and it's like I really like. I want to see Destiny try to throw her little bard comments to Azazel. He's like, you know what? We have plundered in the same hole. The only difference is I left something there.
Yeah, Corey, it was episode. It was page 7. I like how like I think that should be the title. She was in negligee.
We got two.
We got at least 2.
But like another thing I really liked was how when they all try to say, "Oh, Xavier, you did this, you did," like, was like, wait, hold up, that wasn't me. Okay, you guys, all you guys want to criticize about, how it's done, but you live in paradise now. I don't see you complaining.
Yeah. Really, finally, like I'm sick and tired of you guys talking shit about me. Like you basically like you're welcome. Like I was like, thank you.
I would have told when Kitty said this, you're throwing off some Xavier's a jerk. I'm like, girl, if you don't sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Right? Just like, yes. Xavier's favorite movie is New Jack City.
Like I will like Kitty. You've been a brat since you have not changed since you were 13. You are sit down.
Right.
Like no, I want to see him get more assertive.
Xavier is beyond lucky. He's even in the position. If Magneto got kicked out of the council,
he chose to leave.
No, he was going to leave, but then they voted. The moment he was bringing up, I'm going to retire peacefully. Like, no. We fire you seconds before you fucking retire peacefully.
No, that's not what happened at all. No, he chose to leave.
Down.
No, they did a snap vote. And they're like, no.
I don't know. No, he chose to leave.
No, they did that. He was left pissed off and angry because
he asked
to retire peacefully. They're like, no, we kick you out.
No, but he wasn't fired. No, he legitimately. If I remember correctly, I forgot what. I don't think it was Immortal X-Men.
Yeah.
Huh? No, if I remember correctly, like he stepped down, and then that's when Mystique voted away. That's when Destiny came in, and then they voted her into Destiny into the seat. And then it's like, well, I don't want to do it now, and then it's too late.
No. He asked. He was saying, I'm going to step down, and then he was going to step down peacefully, and then they're like, no, we're going to kick you out, and then he's like, everything I've done for you guys. And
no issues. I don't think that's how it happened. Like,
then why did he leave angry?
No, he left angry because he left angry because of what happened. Because he left angry because he. Oh, go ahead. Go. Say so what?
No, he left because of the whole Moira thing. And
yeah. He wasn't satisfied about that.
Yeah. Like
that was all
he was embarrassed. he left out of embarrassment. He wasn't kicked off.
No, but like he basically was like, I'm going to retire peacefully, and he did retire peacefully. Like he did do that. Like that's why they waited, and then he came in.
We'll move on, but I believe differently, so I'll look.
All right, no issue.
Yeah. We need to prove you wrong, MJ. You're pushing that narrative, and that's dangerous.
I can't believe this, bro. I can't believe I missed the negligee.
Have you been looking for that down the whole time?
Yes, I was looking at something else. I was looking at Destiny because they drew her like Rachel Weisz from the first two Mummy movies, and that's what got my attention.
We know Corey.
I don't have my priorities straight, I guess.
Apparently,
like, sorry, I was too busy looking at Jennifer Lopez. I didn't notice Shakira.
What? No, and also I liked how Sinister kind of busted out Mystique. He's like, because when Hope said, didn't you give me the helmet as a reward or something? He's like, and Charles like, I didn't do that.
He's like,
what the hell are you talking about?
And then worse, he's like, there should be a separation between power in the resurrection protocol for a reason. He's like, there's a reason we don't give you the cerebral helmet, because there needs to be a separation between power, basically.
He's like, didn't you give me as a war? He's like, and then like, and Sinister is like, hey, I'm not saying nothing, and he just changed it to her. Like,
I know. Once again, that's another thing that I like once again, notice how Mystique was like, she didn't say like, yeah, I did. She's like, don't you ever change like me again. It's like, don't try and change subject. No.
So, and that's something I don't like about Mystique. She never wants to be held accountable. Ever.
Yeah. I mean, they call like they call her out on that. Like I believe Xavier said like you're like an ends justify the means terrorist. I'm like, that's great.
I can say the same about Xavier though. Xavier refuses to take accountability for nearly causing the extinction of his species.
How did he do that?
Like that is, let me be fair, that is true, but he didn't know at the time it was going to lead to that. He legitimately thought it was going to. Yeah. So as long as you're not Hitler, every other Nazi is innocent. As long as you're not Hitler. Not true. Wait, no. First of all, I love that. That is a very bad straw man. First of all, that's like first of all to say that would mean that Hitler didn't know that was leading to genocide, and that's wholeheartedly not true. And even worse. wait. Are you saying? Wait, hang on. Are you saying Moira is Hitler or Xavier is?
Moira is Hitler, and
okay,
because Xavier was her subordinate, he's innocent.
That's not true. Because that's not true because the Nazis did know that was leading to genocide. That's still not true.
Xavier didn't know because she came to him and said, "We're gonna create this safe place. We're gonna make sure mutants are gonna be okay."
Yeah, like if anything, it'd be the opposite. It'd be like Hitler knows this is leading to genocide, but the Nazis believe that it's leading to like the preservation of Jewish people.
Right. So Moira is the devil. She is the devil.
Yeah, I will say one thing though. Like they mentioned, like she was like Mystique. I just said like I would have let the place burn. I'm like, whatever happened with that? Did she like start a fire? Like what happened with that? Like.
No, and also I really like how Destiny figured out Sinister was cloning Moira.
No, that was a little like that was almost like some freaking like Sherlock Holmes level deduction. It was like, wait, this must mean then that means like, that was a little bit too simple.
It was from that vision she had.
I know, but one vision.
Yeah, because he was talking. Because like here's the thing about Sinister, leave him alone, let him talk long enough, he'll tell on himself. He's like, it's okay. I'll be back. I'll be back.
It'd be one thing if it was a bunch of vision that led to the same thing, but it was from one vision. I'm like, that's a little bit too convenient.
Well, she's really good at what she does. I mean, she was the inspiration for Irene Adler in the Sherlock Holmes books.
Right.
she was named after our Irene Adler was named after Conan Doyle's.
No, it's before, because because her last name was Adler already.
Okay.
But this is what I want to say. Oh, go ahead. Like if MJ, you have something like I'm gonna like now I'm here like now we get to how Legion of X completely usurps what you're talking about. But it's when it comes to
Let's get into it.
Because we thought, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I wasn't really listening to what you guys said the last 30 seconds.
No, that's fine. No, I'm saying we're going to different points. So specifically, this kind of ties in, like, this kind of goes back to my frustration. Like, ooh, I wish this was kind of either this needed a editorial note to say go read Legion of X, because that would actually tie into what happened to Exodus. Because specifically, it seems Exodus has either become a god or he has become a an external literary device.
Yeah, so that could be the case where he's become a god, or so part of it could be that Exodus has the natural ability of a god already. His mutant ability is that of a god, where he can be empowered through faith.
Yes.
So potentially he doesn't need to develop a natural, what I'm calling a godhead, the natural transfusion between faith energy into power. Normally, I would think you would need like a godhead to transform that faith into power, but it seems like Exodus naturally, his mutant power is a godhead, and so yeah.
Right.
But it's the same thing though, empowered by the belief of trillions.
Right. No. Well, specifically what Sinister said towards Exodus was, you've lost. It doesn't matter how many trillions are bloating you up with belief. I'm like, that wholeheartedly ties into X-Men, to a Legion of X,
right?
Because like they are directly believing in Exodus.
It is a direct.
I had a question. That made me think about something.
Yeah. Forget me not. We need him. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, with that too. He needs to be the stenographer of these meetings. But okay, my question is this: his power is Exodus's power. The belief thing kind of reminds me of Gladiator of the Imperial Guard. So my thing is, could Gladiator get to that level as well? Because
I thought Gladiator has to believe in himself.
Right. But what if he, let's just say he got Kanye levels of ego and self-confidence? Would that?
I found that only if we get a bunch of gladiators, they all believe in themselves, but they believe in one core gladiator, and that way we can do it.
Right. It's similar.
It's hard to judge power scales, because like Thor and Odin are extraordinarily powerful. Are they as powerful as Galactus? Are they as powerful as a Phalanx Dominion that looks like a Galactus-sized being? I
would say individually, no. I will say, like, most recently with like the Kate stuff, like Thor was able to kill Galactus, but it did take Galactus' power. However, I think Thor could be able to kill Galactus because he is a Celestial, and Yagabron is able to kill Celestials. So he might not be as strong as, but he is able to at least kill a Celestial.
Okay, and now there's one part in this that I really, really like. All the timelines.
Yes.
That is really cool.
It said AVX4. It said AVX4.
Yeah, right. Legion 12.
Legion 12.
And they bring up the Nimrod extinction event like 4 times.
Yeah, that seems to be a nexus.
So I'm really curious. Here's some of my favorites. Cassandra Supernova.
Yeah.
The Gene Corsairs. And
that's what Sinister is.
Right.
And that time, no, like he was called the Gene Corsair.
And the Dominion of Orcus.
Corsairs implies more than multiple. So unless he has an army as Sinisters, or
Corsairs also seems to mean that, once again, Sinister keeps jacking that summer style, because Corsair wholeheartedly, that's Cyclops' father.
Yep. So but a Corsair is supposed to be like a renegade, right?
Yeah.
So he's like the scientist, the renegade scientist.
Yeah, but I still think I still think he took that name from
Corsair,
the actual Corsair.
Oh, also the Broken Sword. That one really kind of I kept on thinking about that. I think I was talking about with you earlier this week, MJ, that the Broken Sword they're talking about sword.
Yeah.
Like X-Men Red. Like
also, I'm surprised MJ didn't mention the Storm system.
Oh, we're getting to it all.
What were your favorites, guys? Like, I want to hear it. Like,
this is not the speed blitz. Some of this stuff, because some of this stuff is from based off Destiny. It's not going to be. Then we're having a big events coming up, and it's not going to be Nimrod. It's not going to be. What does she say? It's not going to be. It's not going to be Orcus and Nimrod, right? That's not going to be the thing that could destroy Krakoa.
She said expanse, and expanse is like the very furthest thing we saw specifically. That's where like expanse is what the Gene Corsair was getting captured for in that timeline.
Also, the conical I can't say that. For Talia.
Yeah.
There's only one Talia that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Talia Ghul. No, okay.
No, wrong universe. But it's Destiny. It's Mystique's granddaughter, Nightcrawler's daughter, Nocturne. Her name is Josephine.
I thought it was Talia Wagner.
Oh no. Her she has two first names, like Talia Josephine Wagner. So they call her TJ.
Or Wagner, because I'm not German. That's how I pronounce it. It's supposed to be Wagner because the V is supposed to be like a B.
Also, the Empire of the Red Diamond.
Yes.
Okay, so we have three main timelines here. We've got three main timelines going here. And it seems like the Expanse is the timeline that we just had. And so Destiny can now alter this timeline, or she just saw into that future particularly. But the three main timelines is starts with either the Spark Inquisition, Judgment Day, or the Canonical Fatalia. Those seem to be the three starts. So those should be one of the three that are going to happen next. That should be the next thing that happens.
Hey, if we bring back Nocturne, I'm all for it. Because, Scarlet Witch needs to meet her daughter. Editorial's been keeping them apart for so long, and maybe she'll actually admit that those other two aren't really her children, her make-believe children. That everybody was like, no, they're real. No, they're not.
Judgment Day is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Would we say that would invoke that the next two should be bad things too? The start dates for the next two should be bad.
Well,
it's like is the Spark Inquisition? Is the Spark Inquisition the Inquisition of the Spark, or is it the Inquisition to hunt down the Spark?
I think that's a good point. It might be for the Spark. It might be to capture to inquisition the Spark. So there is some ambiguity there.
Canonical Fatalia is kind of like Canonical is more of a religious song, right?
Yeah, it's the song. It means a hymn or chant.
A hymn and a
song of songs.
Granted, I will say, some of these like a very the broken sword, but I thought it might be actually like sword the base, but it's not spelled like sword, so maybe, or it could actually be the actual sword of Galadar that actually powers the sword.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and if you break that, then you can't like fly swords. So
Corey,
we've already talked about the limbic infertility or whatever that could be.
I wasn't even trying to interpret any of those pages. The thing I mainly got out of it is in that grand mal seizure that Destiny had, because one thing I was compliments to Lucas Vernock for this art. Mystique in a negligee. Destiny looking like Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. Thank you. She comes to the conclusion, Mystique isn't involved in any of this somehow.
Yay!
Okay, so we got the limbic infertility. That might be the neutering of all mutant kind, or it could be something to do with limbo.
Yeah, maybe.
The Empire of the Red Diamond, which is strange because you would think the Empire of the Red Diamond would be connected to the Gene Corsairs, but I guess that's something different. That's
something else that needs to happen in order for the Gene Corsairs to have You
would think they'd be both connected. You would think if Sinister had a Red Empire, he would have Gene Corsair.
the immolation of Judases.
Immolation means death by fire, which means you burn them to death.
Burn Sinister. I'm all for it. Burn them.
Okay, so we got the Empire of the Red Diamond, which I find it really interesting that from the Empire of the Red Diamond. So it seems like Krakoa was destroyed. So it seems like Krakoa fought Judgment Day, and from that, it can branch into 4 branches. Nimrod wins Judgment Day. Mutants win Judgment Day and create a new Krakoa. Abigail Brand wins Judgment Day and creates the Broken Sword. Or Sinister wins Judgment Day and creates the Empire of the Red Diamond. But Storm survives Judgment Day and survives the Empire of the Red Diamond to then form the Storm system.
And then it goes away.
No, Mystique dies at that point.
No, I don't think that's what that means. Because like if we're doing it by the expanse legitimately is what we saw with Sinister with like the Gene Corsair, and like when Sinister died, that like the universe went away. So that would seem to denote that the same thing happened with the Storm system.
Also, we're forgetting about the Reign of Apocalypse.
Please let me finish this.
All right. I'm looking at all this.
It seems like you're getting on another Storm is going to be a cosmic deity thing now.
He's not a god.
So it could be as simple as Storm ruling the Soul System and renaming the Soul System the Storm System. I think that would be a little lame. She's already in charge of the Soul System. She just renames it.
She's not in charge of it. She's the regent. That's different.
Like she's Daenerys.
I find it would be a little anticlimactic if she just renamed it 10,000 years in the future. It'd be one of the last survivors.
We don't even know if that's the Soul System. That could be. It could take over.
No, that's my point here. As I think the Storm System is the Milky Way galaxy, and she's conquered the Milky Way galaxy and renamed it the Storm System.
As opposed to the Solar System, it's the Storm System.
Well, the whole galaxy, the entire galaxy.
Right, but I mean, by that logic, I could say like, yeah, you're right, but maybe she sacrificed herself for the system, and then that's why she's named after it. She's just dead, and we just named it, and we respected her so much that we just named it after her.
I get that.
I'm just saying by that logic.
But that's not an extension from New Krakoa. This is the extension from the death of Krakoa. No, Krakoa is dead at this point.
Well, no, it seems specifically it goes Judgment Day. Then like there's a streamline to the Empire of the Red Diamond. Then it streamline again to the Storm System.
Yeah, but that it's not. If it would be Judgment Day, a New Krakoa, Storm System. If it was Mutant Kind survived Judgment Day. It seems like Mutant did not survive Judgment Day. Maybe
I don't think that's true. No, once again, I think every time a circle stops and there's no connection, that means specifically that like it's gone. Like that means that Sinister killed it.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so a New Krakoa, Sinister ended it, so it never became the Storm System.
Right. Yeah.
You think it goes Judgment Day, and in between the Empire of the Red Diamond, there could be a New Krakoa?
No, I think specifically it shows that, like, once again, we're talking about the whole nexus thing. I think specifically that a connecting thing, that means like that is a nexus for another thing, like as Destiny said. So I think they can go specifically like the actual timeline is Judgment Day, and if you go to Nimrod extinction event, then boom, it's done. If you go Judgment Day and the Broken Sword, boom, it's gone. Then you go Judgment Day or New Krakoa, boom, it's gone. But each one of those is like a different like path, but they're not all the same. And then when you go from Judgment Day to the Empire of the Red, it continues toward like that's like a nexus. And then that goes to the Storm System. And then when you get to the Storm System, boom, it's gone.
I just find it unlikely
that
we have a mutant nation that survives the Empire of the Red Diamond to then symbolically form the Storm System in honor of her. I think Storm is.
Well, specifically to be fair, in the Empire, and I think specifically we got to go back to like this is why sometimes I like a physical copy. I didn't get a physical copy at that time, but I think specifically like the branches out. I think each and every one of those, I think specifically when like there's a panel or there's a page. Let me see. Yeah, it's on page 12, on page 12, that shows pretty much all the different timelines. And
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, because it shows what I think is supposed to be the Nimrod extinction. It shows Judgment Day for sure, and it also shows the Empire of the Red Kingdom. I forgot what it's called. Whatever, I forgot what it's called.
Empire of the Red Diamond.
So it shows those three specifically. What I don't see is maybe, I don't know what the Exodus one's supposed to be. Honestly, I don't know what that one's supposed to be.
What's the Magneto? What's the Magneto? The Magneto statue is supposed to be for?
I think that's supposed to be the Nimrod extinction event, because we do see because I think we see a Sentinel on like the side.
Oh yeah, we also see Apocalypse though.
I think that's Reign of Apocalypse.
Huh?
I think that's Reign of Apocalypse.
Is that one of them?
It's ruling and has Magneto in charge of the Earth, while Apocalypse is in charge of Otherworld type thing. I think this Apocalypse is different than Moira's Reign of Apocalypse.
Well, so it's just it's just in Krakoan. Like, does that Krakoan word say actually mean apocalypse? Because I don't read Krakoan, and it got boring.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you look at the one on the bottom right of that page 12, it looks like the Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you guys think that the Reign of Apocalypse is Moira's Reign of Apocalypse, or is it a new Reign of Apocalypse?
Could be. It could be a time. It could. As a matter of fact, it could legitimately be. If we go all the way back to Power Specs and House Specs, that could legitimately be like one of the timelines where Moira teamed up with Apocalypse.
Hope not, because that Apocalypse, he conquered America and then got killed.
Well, we don't know how far the reign was, so
I want this reign to be like truly something mighty.
Well, let me be fair. That might actually be it, because the reign doesn't go that far. As you see, like, it just happens and then just gone.
Very quick one.
Yeah.
Cassandra Nova is the quickest. I find funny.
Yeah, I just want to point out once again, APX4 is what allows you to continue. That's way at the bottom.
Yeah. So Legion 12, that's probably the Legion timeline where he becomes like a leader of the X-Men and all that shit. Maybe a god. I don't know what's happening in Legion of X.
I'm trying to think. Is it 12 disciples or 13 disciples?
I think 12.
Is it 12? Because that might actually be something like biblical.
One was a Judas, I think. So I think there was 13, but one was a Judas.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, as a matter of fact, I think we do have the Immortal Judases. But then granted, it's not connected, but I'm just saying, maybe. Like what if it's like 12, like the 12 versions of Legion that are like not canon, but like that are like that help like lead to something.
This is fun. This is why I really like
it's ambiguous enough to pique interest. But like I said, and I have no problem with it. They give me a lot to work with. The only thing that's gonna hurt me is that like not all this is going to be explored. It's going to just be some of this is just not going to happen. And I'm like, that makes me sad.
What does immolation mean?
Immolation means that it's death by fire.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the burn. I don't think that's the killing of the Judases. I think that's the action of the Judases to burn Krakoa.
Yeah. Immolation means death by burning. Then like literally like the first time I knew that word, it was actually, it's funny enough, Obi-Wan Kenobi was in the movie. Ewan McGregor. It was Angels and Demons, I believe.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert for that movie, by the way. But like one character played by Ewan McGregor killed himself by immolation. So that's how I knew the word.
What I think these three are: Nimrod extinction event, the immolation of Judases, and the dominion of Orcuses. I think that's our three factions. We got robots. So Nimrod wins. The Nimrod extinction event, the robots win. Dominion of Orcus, humans win. They become a dominion of themselves. Orcus realizes Nimrod is an asshole, so they kill Nimrod and become a dominion onto themselves, of Phalanx dominion of humans. And then the immolation of Judases is Abigail Brand. She's the Judas.
Maybe that I'll be fine with that, but I kind of want to go back way. So remember the very first cover of Immortal X-Men? It actually showed it had specific people and specific possessions from like the I forgot what it's called. I forgot the painting.
From
the Last Supper.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to go back and see if they actually put someone at the Judas part, like because each each apostle has a specific position, and you can tell which one Judas is because Judas has the knife.
All right, I'm looking at that right now. I don't see a Judas.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's supposed to be like it's ambiguous. Like who's Judas going to be right now, or it could just be Branch. It might just be Branch. We don't know.
You know, this really looks like Magneto left after he said he was going to pay for the entire meal, and everybody's like, "What the hell, man?" But yeah, this book was great. Oh, nice little touch with showing Sinister. He had that flesh covered spaceship with Shaw batteries.
Kind of weird that like a million years in the future and Shaw's power is still one of the best, you know.
No, it's dependable.
Right, I think that's weird. Also, I think the weirdest thing is, I think the weird thing is, it seems as if they didn't use, they don't have chimeras.
That is very interesting. See, I feel like we're getting a lot of what if issues, which I would love to see. Love. It just like, I don't know.
You know what? The Judas could be Colossus. Because Colossus, that makes sense because Colossus wasn't there at the time.
We have a bunch of Judases though, you know, like Abigail Brand, Mystique, Colossus, Moira. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. But you sound angry.
What she said?
I don't know what she said.
Okay.
But, that's why I'm hiding here where it's safe. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that drama. Nah, but
I just thought she was asking some of the comments. I was like, oh man, that sounds good too, because she was so passionate about like what?
But yeah, we got 2 really good books. We got 2 really bad. Well, okay, New Mutant sucks, but Knights of X, I'm curious enough to get into it next month.
Okay.
One of my favorite panel was the Crimson Harem.
The Crimson Harem.
It's Sinister's harem of Emma Frost, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Wolverine.
Really? Like, that's almost as bad as Corey and it's like, wait, Mystique was in negligee?
Yeah. That's the title. I'm sorry. That's it. Wait,
yeah. Sorry, women can have penises too.
That's another one. That's again. Wait, sorry. Wait, Mystique was in negligee. Sorry, women have penises too. Like combined.
I don't know how. Like I think I could probably do that. I don't know, but I'll put a poll on Twitter. See which one.
Well, you know what? That is actually canon too. Well, it's not canon. It was going to be canon because you know the whole thing about Mystique and Destiny, like wanted to be the mothers, the parents of Rogue, like biologically. So that can actually work.
You know what? But I'm also saying that doesn't make any kind of sense because Mystique is a woman. She's always been a woman. You can't create. She has ovaries.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, though, specifically, we don't know.
We saw her pregnant.
Like when it comes to shape shifting, we don't know. So, like we don't know if she actually is changing her like biology. I would kind of think it might mean yes, because she has been able to change other things that like it'd be interesting. I'm trying to think because like I don't know, like could Mystique like if she were to jump into a pool of water, could she like form gills? I don't think so.
No.
Well, I think she can. I think she can do bone claws.
Yeah, but
I don't see why would be. I say what?
They're cosmetic.
Gills are cosmetic too, though. Like if she can create bones and organs to facilitate the when Wolverine does the bone thing, there's like an organ that does the bone thing. Okay, so she's creating that organ that does the bone thing, so you can create the gill organ.
Okay, all right, you're all right. In theory, but we also have to remember Mystique was the one who was pregnant.
Oh, was it? I thought it was Mystique wanted to impregnate. I thought the original idea was Mystique, but like they wanted Mystique to impregnate Irene.
Yeah, but like we saw that Mystique gave birth to Nightcrawler. So unless Destiny is trans,
that'd be Mystique who was trans. It just be she just like no, she could change. She didn't have the parts all the time. She could just like at that time she changes.
Yeah, but if Mystique got pregnant, like I don't know. It's just there's a lot there. There's a lot.
You guys touched on a point that Bill was talking about when we talked to him the other day, and I was like that. It doesn't really make sense that that everyone didn't realize that Hope wasn't Hope. They should have been able to sense.
No, because Hope has a huge ego. She's not gonna be like, oh, why is he giving me this to me? Like, oh, thanks, Chuck. Her ego is huge.
Right. It just it's not so you still have to kind of like accept it.
Is her power always on though?
I wish that Mystique. So we have that Iraqi mutant, right? That Omega level skin changer, who apparently not only can mimic your appearance but your soul too. So
that's a very.
I don't even think you need that. Like Hope isn't. Oh no, she is. I would be like, I wouldn't even say that. I would have just made it to where like, okay, like, because I think by that time, no, I think you would have had to change the events a little bit. I would have had Mystique go to Emma Frost for help and say like, I'll give you like, because we don't know what she gave her, but she gave her something.
Right.
And I'll just be like, she would say in exchange for this, like, I need you to like do a very good psychic dampener on me, or like to where like people can't believe if even for like a few moments that I'm Xavier, and then just boom.
I can believe that. I could buy that.
Right.
All right. So next week we have X-Force, Sabretooth, and what we got?
X-Men Red?
No, I'm not sure.
Because I was seeing previews for X-Men Red on Twitter before I started my social media fast for a bit, because we talked about this. Magneto's first day of work on the Arakan Quiet Council.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Right. It is X-Men Red.
I'm just saying right now, I'm not reading any previews. That, like I said, that like I've read that comic at least 5 times, and like I'm not looking at anything. I want to go in fresh. Like,
all right. I saw this. Oh God.
What?
Oh no. I was reading this thing on Twitter, and they showed how like Iska got so mad over like it. I just like Magneto's like, "Are you mad? Are you mad?"
Do we think Sunspot is now banned from Morocco?
No, not at all. Because really she just threw a hissy fit because she lost.
Well, she accuses him of a capital crime.
No, but like
essentially anytime she sees him, she'll kill him. I don't think, like, you would think that if death sentence, so if every sentence on Krakoa is a death sentence and you kill him, is it now over, or is it because you resurrect it, you have to kill him every time?
No. Here's the thing though. All right, this is just one spoiler. I did read that preview, just like one panel. Magneto's like, I see you killed one of my students when my back was turned. I bet you ain't gonna do that again.
Magneto wants to die.
No. Magneto's like, no, I want to, like, see, Magneto to me, he's always like, I want the smoke. I don't know. All you gotta do is grill my guy.
Well, that's fine. Like, he doesn't. I mean, he has a legitimate way to challenge her because other seat members can challenge other seat members. So,
hey, Magneto. Magneto. Like, all right, I'm gonna discuss. Magneto ain't no bitch. He doesn't run. Like, I ain't scared of you.
I mean, well, Magneto legitimately was like,
maybe take off the cape.
Hang on. Magneto for like most of X-Men Red #3 was like, I'm not gonna fight because I'm sad. And then so let's be a little bit fair.
Yeah, but he did get manipulated. He did.
Well, yeah, and we do know that, like the rule of thumb for teaching fresh converts, Magneto of all the mutant leaders, if he's ready to go, if he's ready to, let's go. Nova picked
talk about his dead daughter.
Yeah, Nova picked a fight with him. Abigail Brand had to come in and sort of say, "Are you two done?"
That's what I hate that trope that anytime two men are fighting over, and like the woman's like, "Okay, can we stop with the testosterone?" Like, okay, we're not talking about when you had an issue with Storm. We don't do that passive aggressive stuff. We throw hands. But Magneto doesn't throw hands. He throws.
But Nova was just being meta. I'm sick of working with supervillains.
Nova, be more like, I don't know. Stop being a C-list hero.
Yeah, then get people to give you more stage time. If we want to continue talking more meta.
Nobody cares about Nova.
Yeah.
To be fair, Magneto, he has he has the most powerful Omega level on his side, so.
He's what?
Yes, I do agree. Yes, he does.
Omega, means they're all really, really powerful.
Yes, I mean, he does have Legion on his side, so you're right.
I don't know who's fighting, who's defeated is more Omega levels than her,
And also, I'm just gonna put this out there. Emma Frost is not an Omega level mutant.
No, we didn't say that. No, he's talking about Storm.
I'm just putting it out there. Her and Charles are equal. Like I would damn near say that they're like two sides of the same coin. Xavier sees the good side, Emma sees the bad.
I think that's how they explain it.
Asshole.
She's technically speaking a bit more powerful than him because she has a natural immunity to psychic persuasion because she can turn to diamond.
Yeah, when she diamonds up.
Yeah, but he has a helmet.
Yeah, he has a helmet. I like how she can turn to diamond. Well, he has a helmet.
hey, it works for Magneto.
No, it doesn't. That's part of it.
Okay.
It's like part of the helmet works, but it's also the fact that he has like his the way it was very I don't want to say it's BS, but it was some comics or weird kind of stuff. Like he's done it for so long, like that he he can manipulate the brain waves into having a psychic immunity. So it's.
I mean, hey, we seen Xavier mess with Vulcan's mind, and he's an Omega.
Yeah, that's true.
Emma can't do that.
Emma has not tried to do that. That we know of.
That is true. But she has gotten all her students killed all at once. So
yes,
that's now, if only we had an Omega level mutant that could fight like a badass without her powers.
That can fight like a badass. Once again, let me see. Both times when it comes to when she fought without her powers, the first time we went with Cyclops, she was generally it was a Hail Mary. She was like, I'm going to take the benefit of you being a good person and you won't kill me.
She's a dirty fighter.
Huh?
She's a dirty fighter.
No, yeah, because she was a dirty fighter. The second time legitimately was two things. One, it was some fine stupidity because first of all, she wasn't losing anything because even if she died, she would have been able to come back. And the second thing is, if Tara had just been like, I'm going to kill you too, and I don't care, then she would have been dead as well. Legitimately, the only reason she won was because she stabbed him in the chest, and he wasn't willing to just die. And I'm like, well, jeez. And also remember that night, she got it that day. So what was your plan if that didn't happen?
Right. All right.
So she might be the second greatest martial artist of the Omega levels.
Who?
Of the Omega levels.
Of the Omega levels. I'm like, who are you talking? Out of who?
Only one on the list I can think that might be greater than her in martial arts is Exodus.
No, it probably Hope.
Exodus is 300 years old though. That doesn't mean he's a better fighter though. That doesn't mean he has experience. It'd probably be Hope because I believe Hope is Omega level 2, right?
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, Hope was trained by Cable.
The Storm has been trained by various people from apocalyptic situations. Come on now.
But Hope came from the apocalyptic situation.
And plus, we can't rule out Magneto because he uses his powers, but he can fight. He's been fighting his entire life.
Yeah, but he's stuck in an old.
I've been doing this my entire life.
Magneto chooses to be resurrected in a 70-year-old body for appearance sake.
Wait, what?
For no other reason than appearances.
Magneto's lived the longest.
Gets
resurrected. I'm trying to think. Besides Exodus. Yeah, Magneto's lived the longest out of all of them, besides Exodus.
Right.
But my point is that he chooses to be in a weaker body for appearance sake. He could be in the body of a 25-year-old like Xavier, but he chooses.
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't think that matters because like the body, they say that you put the body is in its prime. So like, I mean, I guess you can kind of say like delineation, but I'm like, I think the body could just be like the body of a 50-year-old, but it actually is like a prime 50-year-old.
Also, I think you're forgetting about somebody. You're forgetting about somebody who was trained by both Wolverine and Cyclops.
What Elixir?
No, God, no. Jean.
Storm is a better fighter than Jean.
Jean can fight.
I'm sure she can
go
fight.
down.
This is Storm, the girl that Marvel's been hyping up for the last decade.
Yeah, they've always been, but that's the thing though. They've always been hyping her up. She never actually like solidifies the hype. So she just always is hyped. She never actually. She becomes
she's just like the new Drake album, all hype.
You can't honestly tell me my agenda comes out of nowhere though.
Your narrative is wrong.
I can't say it's out of nowhere because you're a fan of the character. I can say the same thing about, like I said before, I can make a legitimate argument for how Cyclops is an Omega level, at least based on the old standards. But like that's just that comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
No, but without a doubt, the story has led to the belief that Storm could become a goddess. There's been stories in the comics that have been all about her becoming a goddess.
I'll say that, but even in the most recent comic that we just read, guess who actually became a god? Not Storm. So that speaks volumes.
And he's a Frenchman.
She didn't become a goddess. She became an intergalactic.
I'm really surprised at you, MJ. You're a Canadian, and you're saying like, no, my French brethren, he can't be an Omega. He can't be.
He's not Quebec. Like he's not from Quebec.
He's French though. Like your father. Wait, would it be motherland or fatherland? I don't know. The parents who created your country.
Storm could be part Moroccan.
No, she's Kenyan and Black American.
Yeah, she's Kenyan and Black.
You don't know what her Kenyan grandparents, maybe her great grandfather is from Morocco.
I would still think Kenya, but I would still think Kenya.
I mean, okay. I think Sunfire is an Omega as well, because I don't remember Storm being able to fly out in space without just using her powers.
Yeah, she can.
Can she? Because Iceman can do it. Storm. That's
how Storm. Dude, that's how Storm got to Morocco. She didn't take a gate.
That was Magneto.
The first time when she got to Morocco to join their council, they asked why did it take so long. She's like, because I flew here. She didn't take a gate to Morocco the very first time. She flew. That's why it took her like days to get there, because she flew.
She flew.
She can create like an atmosphere around her body and fucking fly, man.
That's not true. She can't do that. Like, no, yes, she create atmospheres, but
sorry. There we go. My connection went out for a second. Sorry about that. So yeah, no, I was gonna say I was actually gonna be with MJ. No, she can make her own atmosphere. Like the issue is though she needs atmosphere. Like someone like Sunspot does not need that. He does not need to. He is self-sustaining. So Storm absolutely has to make air to like sustain herself. And Sunspot, who is not Omega level, mind you, does not need to do that.
Neither does Iceman.
The caveat being that Storm might be passive.
It might be passive for what?
She might be passively creating atmosphere.
That's still bad. That still means you need it though.
True, but it's not like she has to be conscious. There's been times in the comics where she's unconscious and objects are thrown at her and she's created like ice shields and wind shields.
No, I get that, but even if it's unconscious, it still means that you need it. Like so that's not a question of like it's not a question of if you can. Like the question is it necessary? And the answer seems to be yes. So that's actually bad.
No, that's why I said caveat. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying caveat. You're right. Caveat being it's subconscious. If it was conscious, then she gets knocked out and she's dead in space. But
right,
you can't knock her out and kill her in space because still a bubble would be there.
Wait, say it again?
If you knock her out in space, there's still going to be a bubble around her. Her body will
Yes and
subconsciously
no.
create an atmosphere around her body.
Yes
Her
and no.
powers
The
are
way
subconscious.
yes and no. I think it depends on the character, because specific, like legitimately, I was kind of had a little issue with that. If anything, I had an issue with X-Men Red is the fact that, okay, well, Vulcan just learned the power that would have been very useful just the issue before, because he can literally turn on people's powers because of siphoning. I'm like, you can wholeheartedly do that with Storm, no question. And you just learned it. So he could just be like, rematch.
Hey,
well,
round two.
He probably forgot it though now, because if he gets resurrected,
that's a good point. Yeah, you probably forgot it now. He has to put the cheat code back in. Like,
oh, okay. So wrapping up, great week for X-Men. 3 out of the 4 books. I'm giving this a high B+.
Okay.
3 out of the 4. You're giving Knights of X a B?
No, altogether. Like,
but still, you're giving Knights of X a B, my man.
No,
you said 3.
New Mutants gets an incomplete. Knights of X
3. That means Knights of X is a B.
No, Knights of X brings down the average from like a solid A to a B+.
You still put it in the category of X-Men and
it's a conglomerate. No, but like X-Men and Immortal X-Men, they get solid A's. It's great. It's great. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So Corey, Sterling Silver, MJ, I'm 1407. Yes. We're the AKPC. We know what we're talking about most of the time. So we'll see you next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye.
Bye.